This week on Inside Boulder News, bees are a little bit safer in the City of Boulder thanks to a new resolution. The discussion surrounding the South Boulder Creek flood mitigation continues. And Historic Preservation Month organizers launch a new way to experience the Pearl Street Mall. Welcome to Inside Boulder News. I'm Ashley Pearl. City Council unanimously adopted a resolution banning the use of neonicotinoid insecticides on all city properties this week. Neonicotinoids are systemic pesticides known to cause harm to bees, aquatic insects, birds, and other animals.
I was just going to say thank you guys, all the Be Safe people and concerned citizens for coming down.
It's a special day for the bees. The bees now know that they have the support of the citizens of Boulder. Not just the citizens from Be Safe Boulder and Be Safe neighborhoods who have individually pledged or pledged as neighborhoods to become Be Safe, to not use neonics, but also the city pledging. And the city not just pledging themselves not to use neonics on city property or city managed property, but also the city encouraging retailers, businesses, and also public institutions like schools to not use these pesticides.
In the past 10 years, the city has used neonicotinoids to treat an average of 28 trees per year. That's out of 38,000 public trees. The new resolution bans the use of neonicotinoid insecticides on all city properties and also includes a transparent and stringent tree exemption process.
The city is excited about being part of this movement around the world to really advocate for changes at the policy level. And we're doing what we can, which is restricted to city properties, but we really hope that other city governments and other counties around the state will follow suit and do the right thing and really encourage their residents to also follow the steps of Be Safe Boulder, encourage residents to take steps to stop using these types of products.
Be Safe Boulder is doing much more than just creating a few little neighborhoods in our town. We want to reach out to people all over the state, all over the country, around the world, to get rid of these pesticides that it's showing more and more that we really don't need, and they're only bad for the environment.
Although this resolution is the first of its kind in Colorado, several other cities across the country have banned neonicotinoids, including Portland, Eugene, and Spokane in Oregon. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and the European Union have also restricted neonicotinoid applications. The resolution does not apply to private properties in Boulder. As part of the South Boulder Creek flood mitigation study, city staff has scheduled meetings with the Open Space Board of Trustees and the Water Resources Advisory Board in the next 2 weeks. After an initial presentation last year, staff was directed to come up with different ways for containing floodwaters in hopes that they would have less of an environmental impact than those that had been proposed previously.
So as people are aware, the South Boulder Creek was one of the most damaged areas during the 2013 flood. And so what we're looking at are additional alternatives for regional detention at US 36 and Table Mesa to prevent the overtopping of US 36 in a significant flood and also reduce the risk of flooding to hundreds of structures downstream.
Staff will present 6 new detention options, and the public is welcome to speak at both meetings. On Wednesday, May 13th, the Open Space Board of Trustees meeting will take place in council chambers at 6 p.m. And on Monday, May 18th, the Water Resources Advisory Board public hearing will take place at the Municipal Services Center at 7 p.m. For the latest information about the project, visit southbouldercreek.com. In celebration of both Architecture Month and Historic Preservation Month, the city has debuted a free architectural scavenger hunt. The scavenger hunt takes place in the downtown historic district and is perfect for all ages.
It kind of blends architecture and history, and so there are some clues that are architectural details like egg and dart that you might have passed 100 times but not known what that detail was called. And then there's fun ones like naming the statues or dates on the banks or on some of the buildings. So there's a variety.
8 clues are located on the Pearl Street Mall between 11th and 15th Streets and are visible from the public right-of-way.
Buildings are interesting, and you can pass a building dozens of times and then notice something you hadn't noticed before. And I think what's fascinating about architecture is that each building tells a story, and sometimes the story is really obvious, like it's a great classical bank, and other times the stories are hidden, and historic preservation really brings those stories to light.
The city is aiming to eventually create a scavenger hunt for each of the 10 historic districts in Boulder. Download your copy at boulderhistoricpreservation.net. On Monday, May 11th, you're invited to a free showcase put on by local high school students. Peers Building Justice is a youth group that uses creative art-based projects to promote social justice and resist violence in our community. The showcase will challenge social norms that oppress various groups and suggest new perspectives. The event will take place from 6 to 8 p.m. at Agora on the Riverside. Back in March, 4 Boulder bands made their way to the South by Southwest Festival in Austin, Texas, where they were featured as part of the Colorado Music Party. The Colorado Music Party is funded through sponsorships, and this year, the City of Boulder Library and Arts Department Office of Arts and Culture jumped on board to show its support.
Boulder's culture, in addition to wonderful visual and performing arts, is a center for music. We have great musicians here, we have great venues. And the way in which we participate with that community and support it as a part of the creative industry mix in Boulder is really important. In the past, we haven't supported musicians the way we should. So with the community cultural plan and with adventures like South by Southwest Colorado Music Party, we're hoping to be more supportive of music and the musicians who are artists in our community.
Now that the artists are back from the festival, a follow-up event is planned much closer to home.
So all the bands got back from Austin, and we don't want to squander all this information and all this inspiration that they got in South by Southwest. So on May 16th, we're going to gather them together. We're going to do a teach out, and we're going to do some music, have a fun time up on University Hill. And it's all going to be centered around the Fox Theater. So it's going to be a great chance to hear from them and hear some great music.
The Hill by Southwest Teach Out and Showcase will include a free panel discussion that's open to the public from 5 to 6 p.m., followed by the showcase at 8:30 p.m., which is a ticketed event. More information can be found at thehillboulder.com. What can Boulder do about the cost of housing? Share your ideas about what is or isn't right for your neighborhood and explore possible options in several upcoming workshops. From May 11th to May 20th, the city will host Housing Boulder neighborhood workshops in Central, East, North, and South Boulder. Each workshop will last 2 hours. For details on workshop locations, visit housingboulder.net. Thank you for watching Inside Boulder News. Stay in touch with us on Facebook and Twitter by submitting news tips and questions. You can also sign up to receive video updates right in your inbox. Just go to boulderchannel8.com and click on subscribe.